So hey everybody, we're gonna make something kind of a little bit different. We're gonna do some, I don't know if they're gonna try and do embellishments or what. I think that's what they're probably gonna be. But what I've decided to create is I got the idea from doing a Celtic idea around a stone. So I pulled out a bunch of stones I have previously painted a long time ago with various types of sheer paints or glimmer mists or glimmer glams from Tattered Angels, and I have them in black and yellow. Whoops. And I put a yellowish color clay. You can see the color kind of poking right through there. And we're going to kind of wrap it around and create kind of a fun, and I guess it could be a, sorry, I'm trying to twist this all the way down. It could be a pendant if you want it to be. Right now I'm just kind of playing and seeing where it goes. I have an idea in mind, but I don't know exactly how it's going to come to fruition. And it may end up going on a little top of a box or something, but right now I'm just playing. So I have my extruder here, and this one's got a this one's actually got 7 different tubes, and I'm going to go ahead and extrude this out. So I've got these ones going, and I can easily separate them. I'm going to kind of let them do a little bit of drying, but mostly I just want long cords. Alright, so some of my ones I only did with glimmer mist, they're wiping right off the glass, but this one was done in a glimmer glaze and it's staying. It's got some bumps to it, but I'm cool with that. Some of the paint's actually coming off onto my clay, and it's distressed. This is going to be a very distressed kind of look. So I'm going to go through and kind of attach, and I'm probably going to go back and add some paint or some glue to kind of glue this on. But for right now, I'm just using the clay and kind of squishing it onto here and giving it some texture. Just because it's already starting to kind of slip and slide, I'm just going to play with it and go ahead and glue some of these on. The glue I just use is Beacon 3-in-1. It's a fast drying wet glue. It's right here. I love it. It's one of my favorite glues that I tend to work with. And these are already starting to not slip and slide as much. And I may end up actually putting a little bit of glue down here too, just so they don't slide around on the stone themselves. Like I said, this is a loose interpretation of something I kind of got the idea from doing a Celtic knot around a stone, but I'm really taking it my own way. Alright, so I've had this little letter for the longest time. This is one of these things I picked up somewhere. It was on super big discount. I think I got it for like 25 cents. And I've kind of hung on to it for a while to wait for the right project. And I'm needing some sort of base. I've been kind of tinkering around with it for the past little while, and it's just not doing what I want it to do. So I'm going to use this letter, and I love the look of the letter. It's kind of fitting with the color scheme I have already. And I know it's an eye, but I think I'm just going to use it as a base, and then it becomes a little plaque. So originally it was an eye, but I'm not using it as that. So I'm going to use my block or my letter, and I may end up using my other and just kind of winding around. I've been kind of, like I said, I've been playing for a little while, and mostly I just want to create little loops and stuff and use my pieces here and just have fun. I don't really have any rhyme or reason behind the shapes I'm creating yet. Just kind of creating some loops. I'm just playing. So that's kind of where I'm at this point, is just going around and playing. All right, so I've taken this dark purple because I really kind of like that contrasting color. And now I've run it through with, again, an extruder with a different plate. This one has much smaller strands. And I'm going to continue adding to my swirly pattern here. Still not exactly sure where it's going to go yet, but I'm getting closer. All right, I'm not quite done with all the purpley or possibly this, but I am going to pull out a green. I feel like those are the three colors I'm going to work with. And I'm actually thinking I'm going to add some little more gems or some maybe little flowers in there. And so this is the purple I was using. This is the Vineyard Tones. And so I'm going to end up using the green and this, I think it's called Merlot color out of the Vineyard Tones. And I believe this kind of straw looking color, might actually be called straw, is from one of the other sets. See how there's a whole bunch together? And then I'm going to use the green, and this time I'm going to use an even smaller extruder. So I'm going down in size each time, and this time I'm going to use the smaller size. I'm not going to use quite as much clay on this one because there's going to be a whole lot more, and I didn't even use all of that. All right, the green is kind of drying out a little faster, so that's about as much play. It's not working as well as some of the other tones that are in here. All right, so I think I'm kind of done with my clay at this moment. And now I'm gonna go pull some fun little flowers and maybe some other fun things to kind of add into this. All right, so I pulled out some mica powders that are similar enough to the colors that we already have here. And the clay is still a little bit malleable, but what I figured I would do is I was gonna spray it down with some water and just start painting and doing one color at a time. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the gold and just kind of spray down. And I'm not going to hit everything. I'm just going to hit the highlights of stuff. And mica powder pretty much sticks to anything that's got a little bit of a stick to it. It should be more of a glue, but because the clay, when you get it wet, it's going to make it re-sticky. I figure it'd have a pretty good job of re-sticking to the surface. So I'm just going to reapply. Make these little guys shine up a bit. And I'm going to speed this process up. All right, so the clay is not quite set yet, but I've definitely added a ton of sparkle, as you can see, going through all the layers, keeping the separate colors. Some of the mica powder got onto the little board here that I've got. I'm fine with that. No problems whatsoever. It just kind of adds the fun sparkle. And then what I did is I went ahead and pulled a whole bunch of really kind of fun things. And what I'm going to make this is like a metallic garden. So these are all the vines kind of swirling under. And then we have our dragonfly coming to rest. So I'm just going to kind of play with where I want each of these little elements to go, kind of how I want it to set. You're just kind of playing with these large objects, but not really covering up too much of what's there. I did pull a little key, but I don't know if I'm going to use it. You know, I think I'm going for more of a flower garden feel, and then tucking in some fun sparkles here into some of the swirls. I'm really liking my little dragonfly up here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and glue this guy down. I've had some of these particular elements for a long time, and I love the contrast. Now that I've added all the mica powder to everything, it's got this really pretty metallic look. And I was thinking about doing regular flowers, but I just love these metal flowers. Just the contrast. It's just really pretty. It's just a matter of placing. And I just picked up some regular old gems. So some of them I've kind of buried into the swirls that I had going on. And then I'm going to add one off the side here. And it's just kind of covering up the little end pieces, kind of hiding any little boo-boos I may have made. And there we go. Kind of morphed into its own little fairy garden. It's kind of fun. So I'm gonna get some close-up pictures and kind of finish this up. It really was kind of a fun little thing to do. Use up some fun supplies, added some like cute little gems, and there it is. My thing, whatever you want to call it. My dragonfly garden. There we go. So thanks so much. Please subscribe. Bye-bye.